The season preview for Season 3 with FC Argaz is basically in another relegation scrap. However, I'm hoping this season we're going to finish about mid-table and ideally finishing in the top 6, which will get us into that championship playoff and maybe into Europe. We are already on the 8th of July. We haven't kicked off the season just yet. We are a couple of days away from doing that, but we have done a little bit of transfer business before we go too much further. Not a lot of transfer business so far. We brought in a new number 1 goalkeeper whose name is absolutely amazing. His first name is Toaster. His second name is Nasabata. He is a Zambian international, 47 caps to his name, 53 appearances for his last club, Zesco United, which, by the way, if you want to buy some very good Zambian footballers, that's the team to go to. Zesco United are very, very good. He's come in on a free transfer. We've also brought in Bulgarian central midfielder Stefan Gavrilov. We brought him in basically because he's European, which is something we are starting to kind of limit ourselves on. We're not getting a huge amount of European players in, but also he's not awful. He's not going to be playing week in, week out. He's probably going to be a sub-bench player. And it would not be a Skinnz FM building a nation save if we did not sign Pacoma Zazua. I brought him in probably 4 of my building a nation saves, and I don't know what it is about him. He's really good, but also he's not very good. But we bring him in every single time. The 28-year-old now, Ivorian central midfielder with 4 caps to his name. I'm having to retrain him to be a deep-lying playmaker in the sort of defence midfield role, which he should be able to do because he can play it there. It's no different than just learning to move a little bit further back on the pitch, in my opinion. All of these players have come in on free transfers. And leaving the club is this man, Andre Badea, on a free transfer. We never played him. Basically, we've not really done a huge amount of business just yet. We might be doing some more as the transfer window goes forward. Like I said in the intro, we are expected to be in a relegation scrap. I'm expecting, or hoping, should I say, to finish around 6th to 9th. That's sort of my target. If we finish in the top 6, that is ideal. It has not started well at all. We are just 3 games into the season. We're on the 1st of August at the moment, and we have lost all 3 of our opening matches, conceding, 9 goals in 3 games, scoring twice as well, but being absolutely battered, and that is why we are currently 16th place in the league. Not ideal. And to add to it, we have also sold Juan Pablo Sarazuela. He has moved over to, I can only assume, Saudi Arabia. It is Saudi Arabia for £900,000, which is a lot of money for a team of our size. We were obviously playing him, week out, but nearly £1 million is too good to turn down. But he has been replaced with a Cameroonian international, Salomon Bin Jeme, on a free transfer because we don't pay for players around here. 6 caps and 2 goals to his name as well, which is ridiculous for a centre-back, isn't it? He's previously been playing all over the Middle East by the looks of it. I mean, APR FC, I don't know where they are. Rwanda, apparently. Omar Durman is in Sudan. He's been playing all over the place. So he's had a varied career. I think he's pretty good. We've also brought in Emmanuel Onyekwu, who is a left-back who's probably going to be a backup for most of the season. We might be bringing him off the bench, I imagine, but we needed a little bit more depth in our defence, and in particular in that left-back position. But again, not really a huge amount to talk about. A couple of free transfers. We've loaned out some people as well who we weren't really going to see. I think our number 3 goalkeeper has gone out on loan, which I think there's potential there, but he's just not good enough to play for us. So we need game time somewhere else to hopefully build up his ability, and then maybe we might use him. And just to take a look at the season preview now, we've played 3 matches and rooted to the bottom of the table. We've actually moved up from 13th to 12th. I don't quite know how that's happened, but that is what they recommend or reckon is going to happen. If we sort by team here, we can see our star players is Sankara and Kamara, which is no surprise to anybody at all. Obviously, the transfer window is still open. We've got about 400,000 to spend, but our wage budget is we've blown our wage budget, is what I'm trying to say. So there might not be a lot more business taking place in the summer, but we're going to find out. It's now the 9th of September. And you might be wondering why we're looking at Toaster, our new number 1 goalkeeper. It's because he's not our number 1 goalkeeper anymore, because we brought in somebody brand new as well. Basically, he's only played once, conceded 2. The previous number 1 goalkeeper as well has played a few games, conceded obviously a lot, currently from the first 3 matches. So we brought in somebody who is a lot better. And that is Gentian Selmani, the Albanian international, 4 caps to his name, a bunch of under-21s caps as well, and a goal, weirdly. He's got a goal for the under-21s for Albania. Fair enough. Anyway, we brought him in on a free transfer as well, which is a ridiculously good deal. He's going to be our number 1 goalkeeper for the season. He has played 4 matches already and conceded 6 and not kept a clean sheet, so maybe it wasn't the goalkeeper that was the problem. So from a tactics perspective, this is what we're going to go for the season. It is going to be the 4-2-4 gegenpress that I've basically used this formation in the last like 5 or 6 football managers, and it just kind of works, and I like it, and it's not the 4-2-3-1 gegenpress. We're locking in 4 players. Zazua, obviously, because he can't play as a DLP, if we actually ask the assistant and do the best 11, he doesn't get put in the squad. We're making sure that Victor Kanazai as well is also playing on that left-hand side, because Kanazai, I think we brought him in last season, maybe in January last season. He's not the best left winger, but he's still pretty good. Problem is, what happens is they end up playing other players in that left wing position, so we need to make sure Kanazai is locked in. Sankara and Kamara as well should be playing up front, but if we actually ask the assistant, which I'm going to do now, you'll see they often get chucked onto the wings, which is not really what we want. Kamara playing on the right-hand side isn't what we're after. Sankara and Valentine playing up front is not what we're after either. I think realistically, this is what our regular starting 11 is going to look like. The defence might rotate around a little bit because we've got some half-decent players like Benjeme, obviously has just joined, but Turda and Todos are still here, both homegrown as well, so we want to keep making sure that they're getting a lot of game time as well. But this is what we're going to go for the season. It might change around January. The transfer window is now closed, by the way, so we can't do any more business, but we have managed to beat Dynamo Bucharest. We beat CFR Cluj 3-1. We beat this team 2-1, and then we lose against Arad, and then a draw against Craiova. So we've kind of started to turn things around. We're back mid-table, 3 wins, 1 draw, 4 defeats, 10 points on the board. If the season ended now, I guess we'd have to take it. We are now going to jump all the way forward to the end of the kind of the winter season, to the winter break, which is just after the 18th of December. And I'm hoping we're maybe 8th. That's my goal. Partially because we played 21 games and some of the teams around us have only played 19. But still, we're up into 6th place in the table. The top goal scorer in the league is Kamara. The highest average rating is Kamara. He's also got 7 assists. Sankara's also got 7 assists. I'm wondering whether our change in goalkeeper might have suddenly kicked in and we're starting to play quite well now. It's up and down. It's definitely up and down. We got knocked out of the cup in the first stage playoff, which is not ideal, but I guess less of a distraction. And then we go on a little bit of an unbeaten run, which is not too bad. And then November rolls around and we lose 3 on the spin. But then we win 4 on the spin, including FCSB, which are obviously one of the best teams in Romania. A 2-1 win here. Valentine with the winning goal in the 91st minute, a 6-0 win against Dynamo Bucharest. We get another 4-3 win there, a 2-1 win against Cluj. We've done the double over Cluj, which is actually pretty impressive. Like I said, it means we're up into 6th place. We are going to enter the January transfer window, or the winter transfer window, very, very soon. Financially, we have 407,000 to spend, and we are even more over our wage budget at the moment. I feel like I should know this, but the season preview changes as the season goes on, which doesn't make any sense because it's a preview, surely, of the start of the season. This should just be the remaining season preview. Anyway, we're now being predicted to finish 11th place, despite the fact that we are currently up in 6th. The winter break is over. The transfer window is also closed. We are now down in 7th place in the table, and we've done absolutely no transfer business over January. Basically, we didn't have the money, and arguably we didn't need to do it anyway, so we haven't bothered. In between the little clips, what have we done? So, we didn't start particularly well in the 2026 calendar year. 2 defeats on the spin, and then 3 wins on the spin, with some clean sheets as well. That's what we like to see. Bazeo, Universitatea Craiova, and Bostani, or Botasani, sorry, is what they're called. That's not bad. 7th place in the league. If we can finish in the top 6, that's what I said the goal was at the start of the season. If we can definitely finish in the top 6, that would be a very, very good year. We are now going to jump all the way forward to the end of the regular season, which is 4 more matches. It's not that far forward, is it? So with 30 games played, we have completed the regular season and we have finished 7th. Yes, teams above us and some teams below us still have games to play, but we literally cannot move up or down. We are scoring goals for fun. It looks like defensively it's kind of what's letting us down. 11 defeats is a lot of defeats. The final 4 games as well then were literally 2 wins and 2 defeats as well. So 3-0 against Rapid and then 3-0 against Pliotzi. It's 3-1 against Pliotzi. It's actually pretty decent. Defeats though against Sepsi and Hermannstad, not ideal. It does mean though we will enter into this relegation playoff, which will mean literally nothing for us because basically we are not going to be getting relegated because we are so far away from the bottom 3. It's not possible, is it? But if we take a look at the rules, the relegation playoff, if we finish 1st or 2nd, which is highly likely, I think, we'll be in a European places playoff. And then we'll have to... So if we basically win or finish 2nd, we'll play whoever finishes the opposite position. If we then beat them, we'll play... I assume it's whoever finishes 4th. I don't know. It says whoever finishes there, but that doesn't make any sense at all. Surely, maybe it might be 5th. It might be whoever finishes 5th we play. We are also due to have our youth intake in very, very soon, probably in the next couple of weeks. It says it's an excellent intake. C's are the highest, so I'm gonna kind of ignore the fact that they say it's an excellent intake. So the season is finished. We'll get to that in just a moment. We have got our youth intake. A total of 6-7 players have come through that are half decent and have actually signed contracts. The pick of the bunch really being this man, Serban Piscanu, who's a central midfielder and attacking midfielder with very good first touch and lots of 8s everywhere. Might be good. We'll have to see in a few years' time. And we also have Andre Fratilla, who I think actually looks pretty decent. We're going to definitely have to retrain him up to be probably a deep-lying playmaker in that position there, because he's got the passing, he's got the technique and the first touch, so that probably fits him better. At just 15, he could be actually very good for us. So from a league table perspective, the 9 matches that we played in the relegation group mean that we finished 2nd in that group, which is not very good at all, is it? So we get 50% of our points from the first stage, and then any additional points from this. 3 wins only, 2 draws and 4 defeats, which is why Voluntari win the group, but it does mean we have to play Voluntari in the European playoffs, which we've already done. And we have won thanks to Kamara in the 71st minute. Kamara and Sankara combining up front there with the goal. We arguably didn't necessarily do well enough to win this game, but we managed to get that goal, which means we have a final to play, which we have also played. That we lost 2-0 against Farrell Costanza. But that's kind of expected. They are a team, I can't remember where they finished. I'm assuming 5th place is my guess, is where they finished. We obviously finished down in 7th or 8th place in the league. So they're definitely a better side. But this shows that we are pretty good. We are definitely a mid-table or above side, which is good going into next season, where our target probably needs to be finishing in that top 6. So to finish off this season, we're going to take a look at some of the players who've made a very big difference for us. The main man of the hour, Ousmane Kamara, 39 appearances, 29 goals, or 28 goals, sorry, 39 appearances, including just 1 in the cup. So 38 in the league, 28 goals, 10 assists for Kamara. He is absolutely bonkers for us. He's wanted by Dynamo Bucharest, which I don't want to sell him. He's only got a year left on his contract. We really need to tie him down to a longer-term deal in the summer. We can't mention Kamara without mentioning Sankara, his strike partner. 40 league appearances, 13 goals, 9 assists to his name as well. So those two working as a pair up front is really, really good for us. Again, he is wanted. Who is he wanted by? FCSB. He's got 2 years left on his contract, so we can maybe wait another year before we tie you down. A player who he's very useful for us, but he's nothing special, is Radescu. 31 years of age now, right winger, 9 caps in all competitions, 5 goals as well. One of the first names on the team sheet, 38 appearances, so he's played most matches for us. Looking very good in terms of output, not necessarily in terms of attributes. How did my new boy get on then? Pacoma Zazua, 29 years of age, fully fledged as a defensive midfielder on that deep playmaker role, which is good. 6 goals, and 6 assists in 41 appearances. He's a good player, isn't he? He's just very useful for us, but he's not good enough that anyone else is going to want to poach him, I don't think. So Zazua might be here until he retires. I'd like to draw your attention as well to Cosmin Pop. 16 years of age, came through youth intake, I want to say in Season 1, maybe Season 2. He is playing. He has started 10 matches, 18 off the bench. He's not very good, but he's only 16 years of age. And the only player that is keeping out of the squad is a player that I basically force-played in that left-wing position, which is Victor Kanazai, because I think he's good, but I don't think he's good enough for them to play him every week, and I think they wanted to play him on the right wing, which I don't want him to play on the right wing. I want him on the left-hand side, because that's where I think he's best. So, and Kanazai, 7 assists, 3 goals as well to his name in 28 appearances. The 20-odd or 12-odd that he missed, obviously, went to Pop. And finally, Selmani, how did he do in the terms of clean sheets? 11 in 37. Conceded just 40. Actually, it's not great, but it's not bad. Conceding 40 in 37, 11 clean sheets. He is wanted by Al Wada in Saudi Arabia, but I don't think they're going to be going for it, so that's not too much of a problem. There you can see the overall squad. And some players played a lot. Tudos at 21 played a lot of games. You've also got Gregor Huides. Didn't play actually. I thought he played loads. He played 3 games. Turdo was the guy that I wanted to have a look at. He played 41 games. Been very good for us. 242 appearances now for this Arges team. Clement Ogbobe, 33 appearances as well for us in defence midfield, I can only assume. We've got a pretty decent squad. Have we got our budgets for next season? We do. We've got £500,000. It's not a lot, is it? We've got £500,000 for next season. We've got no wage budget, so we're going to have to do some selling if we want to bring in anybody new. But next season, the target has to be top 6. It really has to be top 6. So that's going to do it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in Season 4.